Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 5, episode 10, titled Appetite for Destruction, air date December 19th, 2001, and the synopsis is
Pacey cooks for the gang on their weekly dinner at Graham's house. Jen and Dawson return early and decide to keep their hookup a secret, but they are caught by everyone making out the door. The dinner goes in an awkward way for everyone. Charlie later drops by to talk to Jen, causing some tension for Dawson. So everyone, except for Jen, of course, and Dawson, are in the kitchen helping Pacey, or at least kind of. And he's cooking risotto.
yeah, something like that. I mean, he's given him like a 5-course meal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there was enough people for that, but
I know, but that's a lot of food going to waste.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Especially with that group.
yeah, I was gonna say they could have took some home, but then I remember nobody took anything home. So,
No, they all wanted to get out of there,
hmm
which I don't blame them.
yeah. And then Audrey's tired. She's supposed to cut up an onion so she can participate.
Okay, did you really think she was going to do anything?
No,
Me either.
yeah, she just wanted to order pizza and do each other's manicures. More than that, and then she's all about meeting Grams too the whole night.
Okay, the grams though.
Yeah.
Where's the grams? Oh my God.
hmm And
Um,
then
okay.
yeah.
But then Dawson and Jen come home.
hmm
Did they not know everybody was gonna be there? Like, what? How come nobody told them Pacey was making dinner?
Yeah, that's a good point. And not Dawson, at least Jen should have remembered what day of the week it was for everybody to be over.
Well, I mean, it's like if like everyone was going to like your grandma's house, we would tell you like, hey, you know, I mean, it's
hmm
not their house.
Yeah.
So I just feel
Well,
like it's weird that they wouldn't tell Jen that
hmm
everyone's going over there and Pacey's making food.
Yeah, doesn't Jack live there though?
Yeah, but Pacey made food for everyone, including the two of them.
hmm
So it's like they all knew that they were coming home, but Dawson and Jen didn't know everybody was going to be there.
Maybe Pacey had extra ingredients because he was gonna make some for them and then save it for later, like the next day, for them to warm up, maybe.
I don't know, but they kind of just all see, I don't know, just how they were acting, just kind of nobody was surprised that they were coming home. They were only surprised that they were together.
Well, right before they walked in, Joey asked Jack about Dawson and Jen coming home, and he told Joey that they're staying an extra day to soak up the atmosphere. So I'm
Yeah, that
guessing
was the
they.
the other day. That was the night that they were
Oh,
doing their scary stories, though, remember?
no, I thought this tonight episode was the extra day, so that's why they didn't expect him to show up like that.
Well, he made an awful lot of food for just the four of them.
hmm
Okay. But when they walk in, okay, first it was like, okay, you guys are gonna get caught because they're just start making out outside.
hmm
And then they walk in and start making out, and it was like, I mean, okay, forget everybody else. Jack lives there. Like, you want Jack to see it? You know what I
Maybe,
mean?
yeah, maybe they weren't thinking and thought he was at the frat house.
Um, so that was like my thing was forget everybody else. But then it cuts to Pacey laughing. And
hmm
Jack has a smile on his face. And then the girls are just, not happy. But I was just like, oh my God, Pacey and Jack. It was just funny.
Well, Audrey was the one that said, "Hey guys," to get their attention because they didn't know they were there.
Yeah. But it cut to their faces and it was funny.
hmm
Yeah. And then they were, oh. And then Joey acting like, oh, it's just a kiss. That it wasn't just a kiss.
Right.
They were full on making out.
hmm
I don't know what she thinks just a kiss is.
Yeah. And then after the theme song, we cut to everybody at the dinner table eating.
Okay, that was awkward. And I'm not gonna lie, boring too. I would have wanted to skip the dinner too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Audrey, kept trying to like spill stuff on herself so that she could have Joey go into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. I mean, once was something, but doing it twice, was just too much. She wasn't being
Hmm.
sneaky about it.
Well, and like Joey hides her feelings. Like if she has a problem, she doesn't say it. She's never been the person that says it.
Mm-hmm.
So when Audrey's like, oh, how do you feel? It's like, how do you feel and stuff? She's just, I don't, have any, feeling thing. And it's like, Joey's never been the person that's ever going to admit anything. So Audrey, you're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm. I did think it
But
was funny. What?
well, yeah, but then Audrey in the bathroom said, you're the country girl who grew up on a stream.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
What? On a
That's what I was gonna say.
stream?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but on a
Mm-hmm.
stream? What?
Yeah.
Like, what is Audrey talking about?
I guess she was close enough.
No, because Joey's face is like, what?
Mm.
Okay, but then Audrey has to go a step further and talk about them having sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ew, I do not want to picture Dawson and Jen naked and having sex. Ew, ew, ew.
Well, she was trying to let Joey know what was going on because she was oblivious. She didn't know what was going on. She thought it was so innocent.
Yeah, but it's just like let Joey think whatever she's got, at least for the night. Like when you go back to the dorm, you can sit there and hash out what happened.
Yeah, but I think Audrey knew this wasn't going to last long. She's going to find out sooner or later, and she figured it'd be better coming from her so she won't be blindsided when she finds out later from Dawson or Jen.
I know, but she's closer to the two of them. She's not close to Audrey.
I feel like at this point she is. I mean, Joey, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not close.
I feel like they do have a bond after, because how like it's been like what, at least a semester now?
Well, she's getting her grades, so yeah.
Yeah, so, and they live together, so I think, yeah, they should be close by now, at least somewhat.
But I feel like you can hate your roommate and not be friends with them.
Yeah, but it's not
Like
like they don't
if
hate each other.
like if those two were ever out somewhere, they would not hang out if they didn't know each other. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't be friends if they weren't forced in a dorm together. And I'm sorry, but once again, Jen and Joey cannot be friends. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
I mean, they did kind of have a moment during the New York episode, but besides that, it's just always Dawson gets in the way at some point or another.
And that's what I mean is they're never going to be friends. They've never been friends and they're never going to be friends because for some reason they always keep going. They both of them, they keep going back to Dawson. When are
Hmm.
you both going to realize the reason why you weren't together in the first 10 times?
Yeah.
Like there's reasons why you don't go back to that person. And for some reason, these two keep thinking it's okay to go back to Dawson. Dawson didn't work with you guys. So cut the cord.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry, but this episode, they acted like it was the show Friends because they bring up, like, oh, like, oh, getting together and stuff. And I'm like, this is the first time that they've ever gotten together, the five of them. And I mean, when in high school did all of them get together if it wasn't like for a dance? They didn't just randomly hang out together. This wasn't the group.
Hmm.
So it's weird that, oh, you know, oh, we should, have more dinners together. And no, you guys have never been that group. Like, you guys have never had scenes together. I'm sorry to tell you, you're not that group. There are other shows that show friendship a hell of a lot better. And this isn't it
Hmm.
because these people are not friends. Some of them may be friends, but the whole group together is not friends.
Hmm.
I mean, this was the first time we've seen them have dinner together. This is season 5. It shouldn't
Hmm.
take 5 seasons for us as the audience to see the group together.
Does Thanksgiving count?
Thanksgiving. Oh,
'Cause that
Okay,
was another time they were
one
together for
other
dinner.
time out of the whole 5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but if you're gonna show me a group of friends, show me a group of friends.
Yeah, and the other time was
This ain't it.
when Andy was going away, she brought them together. So
Yeah,
that
that was
wasn't their idea.
forceful.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them ate.
Yeah.
But again, they either have to be forced to get together, whether it's a holiday or Andy. They don't just randomly all just sit there and go, oh, we're all going to get together today. And think about it, like friendships in high school, you spend time with each other. This group did not spend time together.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're all talking about how they've changed and they're not the same people that they were. Again, you were not that close then.
Right.
So I don't get why, it's a problem now. I'm sorry. It just bothers me when the show keeps acting like these five are friends. And again,
Yeah.
certain people are friends and certain people just are not.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that. And again, they haven't shown them as this group that are friends and hang out and do everything together. This isn't it. The only time we saw them actually spending time together was when Dawson was leaving for college, but Pacey wasn't there. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's always somebody missing when they do get together, like when they do an outing.
Right.
Again, just like that summer when it was the four of them, who was missing? Pacey and Joey. It's like somebody's always missing out of the group, so it can't be a group activity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a real one if they're not all together.
Yeah, they also went to that rave, but they didn't stay together in one group for very long.
Nope. They all went different places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they met up and then went their separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they didn't all go to the hospital together. Or, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like Jen was missing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I don't like. That all of a sudden at dinner, we're going to act like they're the cast of Friends. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that for a second. And I never have. Okay. So when Jen gets up to go to see the girls or whatever to get, what was it she was getting? A sweatshirt or something?
Yeah, sure, for Audrey.
Um, it was funny because it's just the guys and Pacey just, couldn't wait. He was like dying to like get information.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, Dawson Leary. And Dawson's like, yeah, that's my name.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
Yeah.
And then Dawson just has to cut into, or Pacey has to cut into why Dawson like chose Jen to go with and what
Right.
happened. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Pacey and Dawson are not like friends. So it's just weird again. They're just shoved together and you know what I mean? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's just weird that Pacey's asking when they're not really friends.
Right.
I think it
But
probably would have been better if Jack would have came out and asked. I know he was, but Pacey did it
mm-hmm.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, but I did think it was funny because when Pacey, before he asked, he was like, first, why aren't you eating the risotto? I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh my God.
Right.
Okay, but did you notice there was one person truly eating the food?
Jack, was it?
Yep. Jack was the only one at the table actually eating. Everybody else was just, this is really good. And it's like, yeah, I didn't see any of you to actually take a bite.
Mm-hmm. Yes, then Dawson goes into the kitchen and Jack tells Pacey that Dawson and Jen did sleep together because um
Yeah, because he said, how do you know?
Jack, yeah, Jack knows from seeing Jen's face.
Well, yeah, he goes, it's not so much him, it's her. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my God.
And then they both mention how they almost slept with Jen too, and Pacey asks what does it take, and Jack says a virgin and a straight guy. That was funny.
Oh, but it was funny when Jack and Pacey were talking, and Pacey said, we didn't even have the talk.
Oh yeah, with Dawson, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, you guys. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
just being so extra now, I feel like.
Yeah.
They just are taking the extra step. Like,
Mm-hmm. Well, just because he's the last one out of the group to lose his
I know,
virginities.
but I'm
Yeah.
just like, come on now. Leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure this is exactly what he wanted to come to Graham's for.
Right. And then Joey finally learns that it was more than just a kiss between Dawson and Jen in the kitchen with Dawson.
hmm
But it
But
still
did
took her
you
a second.
but did you notice that when Dawson and Jen were talking, when everybody, got up and left, did you notice that Dawson um said, because Jen was like, oh my gosh, like everybody knows, like how does Joey feel and stuff. And he said, nobody else gets to weigh in on it as in them. And I'm like, remember, you wanted to weigh in on Pacey and Joey. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, that's right. It's your relationship, so nobody can weigh in on you, Dawson. That's right. But when he
Yeah.
said that, I was like, what? But again, remember how much like Joey cared about how Dawson was feeling and stuff about her relationship with Pacey?
Mm-hmm.
He's not all into caring about Joey.
Nope.
Not like she was when she was with Pacey. That's what I mean. I wish she could have just, this is what I mean. This is what I said. In the future, when he has a relationship, is he going to be like Joey, like all about her? Or is he going to actually put her second and put the person he's with first? Here it is. He's being real and he's putting Joey second because she's the friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I wanted all season of 4 her to do with Pacey was to put Pacey first and Dawson second.
Yeah.
And she had trouble doing that, but Dawson has no problems putting her second.
Maybe because now they're older and with his dad passed away, he's like matured quite a
No,
bit.
yeah, but even when he dated Jen in season 1, he put Jen first and Joey second.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's never, and even Gretchen, he put Gretchen first. So it's like Dawson just is not Joey. Joey, for some odd reason, keeps putting Dawson above everything and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's irritating because does Dawson care that much, about you like that? No. So stop it. That's why you don't have a boyfriend, probably, right? Because she doesn't put that person first.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope after this, she learns that he doesn't put her first. So she's like, screw it. The next person I'm with, I'm going all in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice to see her actually put somebody above Dawson, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
then
what did you like though when everybody just got up and went into the kitchen and left the two of them?
yeah, that was funny, but I guess they still wanted to eavesdrop because they left the door open a little bit.
You would too.
Yeah, but I just don't get how they don't think that Dawson and Jen can hear them in the next room as well. The doors are open.
What were they really saying though? Nothing. I think they were probably
Um,
trying to listen.
yeah, well, Jack says that it's weird with Jen and Dawson being together, that it's not the best time for them to be together, and Audrey brings up Grams again.
Yeah.
And
Where's the Grams?
yeah, asking if they're keeping her in the attic. And then they start talking about the chicken that Pacey's making, and like they're saying like, "Oh, I like my chicken basically not cooked."
Well,
So,
that's because Joey wants to get out of there because they were trying to get out and Pacey's like, no one's leaving. And then
hmm
then Joey goes, well, I like my chicken not cooked, and it was just so they can get out of there. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah,
But
and Jack,
again, you know why they're saying they don't care how they like their food because no one's eating on that plate.
right,
They're all just lying to Pacey, telling them it tastes good.
hmm
Yeah, but they really weren't talking about Dawson and Jen.
right. And then Jen and Joey talk, and Jen says she didn't have a plan. She didn't plan this, and Joey doesn't assume she did. And Jen mentions how Dawson's always been between them, and they were getting close, and Jen hopes this
When?
didn't ruin.
When
I
were
guess
they getting
before,
close?
like months before. I guess.
In their imagination?
Yeah. Yeah. So Joey just reassured Jen that Dawson needs a good person in his life right now, like Jen. And then now they're back at the table together. And of course, the chicken really isn't too edible because it was barely cooked. And then Jack, brings up the film festival. Dawson says, talks about the guy that he met that goes to a film school there in Boston. And then Jack says that he could live
Oh,
at
can I say it?
Graham's.
Yeah, can I
Mm,
say it? He said, so Jack said, there's plenty of room at Graham's. What?
yeah.
Oh my God, Jack.
But do you think Dawson would have found out about that film school if he didn't meet that Oliver guy at the festival?
I don't know. Does he ever get out of town? I mean, like, it seems like the group doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how long it would take him to realize that he could go to school in Boston for film.
I don't know, especially given that he's with Jen. Like, he's full on with Jen. So I don't know if he would have opened his eyes in town to see that there's a school to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, didn't he tell his mom he was going to Boston, um, college or something? I mean, so eventually I think he probably would have looked into it. I mean, isn't that why they were mad? Because he was dropping out and going to Boston?
Yeah, he did say school in Boston, but he didn't like say
Yeah.
anything specific. Yeah.
No, but I feel like if he had researched schools then in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
like once he committed to going there, then I think he would have seen that there was a school for him.
Yeah. And then Audrey spills more food on herself, making Joey go with her again into the kitchen this time.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that was annoying
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it's so obvious and just childish.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was just too
If you
much.
want to talk to her, just no one's saying anything at the table anyway. Just, nudge her or, make eye contact with the girl and tell her to come here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no need to like spill food on yourself. And I mean, that's Graham's house. I mean, think of the cleanup. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And food is sticky and stuff. I would be mad if you don't even know the girl and she's throwing food on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Joey explains that she feels fine about Dawson moving to Boston, and um Joey says too how when Mitch died it canceled her and Dawson out, being together, and understandably, and if this broke her heart, she had no right to say so, and Audrey tells her she does, and Joey says it doesn't matter, it is what it is.
But yet she's mad that Dawson's with Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knew that it canceled her and Dawson out.
Yeah.
So, like he's gonna move on with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And you did kind of have them go together, right?
Yeah.
And he did like her from the start, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that. I mean, do I like Dawson and Jen together? No, I never have. Because I always felt like they were a boring couple to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jen's fun, but she's boring when she's with him. The
Right.
same thing Joey was.
Mm-hmm.
Like they needed somebody else to be with. And that's why I liked her with Henry because he had a personality and it was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so yeah, I just don't want them either one of them with Dawson. I never have. And here it is. I get to watch this boring couple.
Yep.
Now, do you agree that Jen is boring with Dawson?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I mean,
she's obviously a fun character. She's just not fun when she's with them.
yeah, I mean, I think this is better than her with Charlie though, since they only had sex.
Oh,
And speaking of
you don't like Charlie?
this, feel like it's kind of pointless too for him to even be in this episode because it was a quick
That's what
second.
I was gonna say. Oh my God, I was like this. He was in one scene and
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, what was the point of having Charlie in this episode?
Yeah, and then like he was also cool about her and Dawson being together. Like he didn't like,
Get mad or
have an
jealous?
attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, what's the point? This makes no sense.
Nope. And then it went nowhere. I thought there was gonna be
Mm-hmm.
something else, but no,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
nowhere.
Yeah, so speaking of Charlie, he rings the doorbell.
Your boy Charlie.
No, not all the guys peek in to see him.
Okay, what was up with that? Like, there's the guys are so bored they just peek. I mean, really?
I guess so, yeah. It's better than being in the dining room with Jen, Dawson, and Joey.
From their angle though, it looked like they really couldn't see much.
I know. That's what I was thinking too.
It only seemed like they looked at Jen because Charlie was far from the door.
Yep.
I was like, I don't think they saw anybody but Jen.
I think they were trying to hear, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, so and then before they talk, we see Pacey serve his salad as a palate cleanser. And he only says this after Audrey makes a comment of him not serving it first. And Joey states that Audrey didn't even know how to use a microwave until college because apparently her mother thought that they would get radiation poisoning from it. And they're waiting to eat until Jen gets back inside.
Okay. And Jack calls Charlie pretty boy.
Oh, I missed that, yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, we don't know how long pretty boy is gonna take. And it was like, oh my God. Of course, Dawson didn't like that.
I think Jack was saying that because he doesn't like Charlie either.
I know, but it was just funny. And then who was it that said, oh, was it Pacey that told Dawson that he's not like Charlie?
Hmm.
Yeah, and he said, I hope not.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're not, trust me.
Hmm. Yeah, so Dawson checks in and Jen assures that she'll be there when she can. And he says, take her time. They don't mind waiting to start dinner without her. I mean,
Well,
with
at
her.
first she's like, oh, am I holding up dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why couldn't they just go on without her?
I don't know.
Because think, I wouldn't want to take all night long.
Hmm.
Like if someone's taking their time, start without him.
Yeah.
Because he's got like 10 meals planned, so you're gonna be there
Hmm.
all night.
Yeah. And Charlie only came to return her shirt and lets her know that him and Nora are no longer together.
Who
So then
cares?
I know.
Like he's
At
not
the
a main character, so who cares that Charlie and Nora are not together?
Well, he only told her that to see if he could get back together with her.
But who cares?
I know, just for the plot.
Okay,
Yes, then
what plot? She's with Dawson.
yeah, exactly. She tells him that, and Jen says that she feels like after picking the wrong guy, she finally picked the right choice for once.
So I don't feel like Charlie was needed. He had like one scene.
Yeah, and he didn't have an attitude about her being with Dawson, and just says that he wants her to be happy. So doesn't really seem like this can go further than after this scene, this episode. There's no
No,
point
so,
in
it,
bringing him
so yeah,
back.
it's kind of pointless.
Mm. Yeah, so Jen finally goes back to join them for dinner. And Joey looks like she's just realized something and goes to get more salad. So then Dawson gets up to go follow her. And then Jack asks Jen to help him change the music, but the music wasn't even playing before.
Well, who says invite me for Coco?
Oh, Charlie. Like, because he says he doesn't expect her to invite him in for
Yeah,
Coco or
I was
anything.
like,
Yeah.
I was like for Coco. What?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, so then Jack and Jen. Now, Jack, of course, is pulling the Audrey and gets Jen to go with him. Okay, and he says, well, we got to change the music. I didn't know there was music playing.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. There wasn't music playing
And
before.
and then Jack says, can you just pretend we're best friends?
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, when Jack was the one that's been pulling away from Jen.
Like at this point, I can't with any of them.
Hmm. Yeah, because Jack was the one that was explaining that he wants to meet other people when they're in the kitchen together after Toby left. So it's like he was telling her that he wants to go a separate way from her. But now, back to this, like, oh, let's be best friends. Like we haven't been ignoring each other for the last few months.
Yeah, so it kind of feels like the whole Dawson and Joey when they were friends for one episode and the next they weren't.
Jack starts saying that now isn't the time for Dawson to get into a relationship, and things with Charlie just ended like a week ago, and she's moving too fast. And Jen says her and Dawson are just trying to figure it out, what's going on between them, but she feels like they're in an intervention.
Well, and I didn't like that she brought up Toby because it's not like Jack's in college. He's not spending all of his days talking to Toby.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So they had their own separation. So I didn't like that. Like her and Dawson right now are just spending every waking minute together.
Hmm.
Oh, and then Dawson and Joey are in the kitchen. And then, because Joey's like, of course, being her whiny self about, oh, like we were supposed to like be together and blah, blah, blah. And, do you not miss me and all of this? And I did think it was funny though when he said, when I was with Jen, I felt like me.
Yeah.
That was like the best thing.
Yeah, so that really hurt her.
But I feel like that was like the best line in the whole episode.
Well, did you think it was weird that she was washing dishes even though they weren't done eating yet?
I think nobody was doing anything they were supposed to be. Like, it was just all weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing music when there's no music. They're washing
Spilling food.
dishes. No one's eating. I mean,
Yeah. I think Audrey's shirts probably had more food than anybody else at the table.
yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, the only thing that looked good was that cake at the end
Mm-hmm.
that nobody stayed for.
Yep.
And then Grams walks in, thank God.
Yeah, and Audrey's all thrilled to see her.
hmm And she said, "You're so much cooler than I expected."
Yeah, I didn't expect her to say that.
No.
And then Pacey did save Graham's a slice of the cake.
He gave her his.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was his plate, but he was giving it to her.
Oh, okay.
You would think he would have made a bigger cake for leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this group doesn't do leftovers.
Yeah.
But everybody got up and just like left, and I'm like, "You're wasting the cake." That was in my head.
Then before that too, they toast to lifelong friendships because Audrey, like Andy, says that they are lucky to know each other because she doesn't know anybody that she still talks to since she was a teenager. And then I thought it was funny how Graham said that she wants to hear all about the film festival from Dawson like the whole weekend, but she's gonna go to sleep because she has no idea what happened between Jen and Dawson that weekend.
Yeah, she doesn't know they're together.
Yep, she's the last one to know. But where has she been all day? That's my question.
She seems to be out every day.
Mm-hmm.
She only ever comes home at night, just like that episode, The Four Stories, that episode.
Mm-hmm.
They're all around in the living room talking about scary stories, and then she comes in. It's like, what? She must have found a new church.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, so before that, Dawson was talking about how Joey reminds him of the life he had before his dad passed, and that's why it hurts to be around her now. I feel like I made brought that up a few episodes ago when they first started arguing and not really talking.
hmm
So that's why I figured. But yeah, so and then who asks about breakfast? Oh, Jack asks
Yeah,
about having breakfast with Jen and Dawson in the morning. So
yeah.
I
Because
guess him and
Jack,
Jen are good
because
now.
because Jack was going to the frat house,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's where he was headed. So yeah, he brought up breakfast with them.
Yeah, so I guess he's good with Jen now. Apparently to have breakfast with them. And then Jen and Pacey are in the kitchen. So, Jen asks Pacey, like, he hasn't said anything about what he thinks of her and Dawson being together. And he says that she'll get no judgment from him. And Pacey says that he would just be fine with everyone just doing what makes them happy, and that she did look happy to him. So they just had like a nice little moment there. And Jen tells Pacey that he can go home and she'll clean up her and Dawson.
Oh yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like, wait, Dawson knows how to clean up, first of all, and secondly, I don't think Dawson offered.
Yeah. Because,
You know,
what,
they might want to clean the floor though, because Audrey spilled all the food there.
oh, yeah. I don't even
And
think her
then
shirt was still messed up at the end, unless she changed her shirt, but then she
had the
ruined the
same one
second
on.
shirt. Oh,
Did
because
she have
Jen was
like the
supposed to
same
get,
one on?
I didn't even know. I just know
I
Jen
feel
said
like
that she'd
I
give
feel
her
like she
one.
had the yeah, I feel like though she had like the same shirt on. I don't know.
Well, I don't think I could even tell.
It was like the same color at least.
Yeah. Either way, it looked like it hadn't put, she didn't spill anything on it. It's clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They didn't do a good job. They should have at least changed colors.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
then,
then
yeah, so,
so then the three
yeah.
of them are walking, Jack,
Mm-hmm.
Audrey, and Joey. Then
Mm-hmm.
Pacey catches up, and then Audrey didn't want to be with Professor Potter or Professor
Yeah.
Joey. So
Mm-hmm.
she decided to go with Jack to the gay bar.
Yeah, well, he wasn't even going there. She says that we have to go to a gay bar. So he was going to go to the frat house, but nope, she's
Yeah.
like, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
And then
yes.
Pacey and Joey walked together.
Mm-hmm. And then they have their deep conversation, and Joey tells Pacey that she envies his way of seeing the bigger picture. And he just says that he's a visionary of their generation. And Joey says Pacey knew the thing to do was to take a break from what was expected from him and to go and just start over with himself. And Pacey just knew he wanted to get out of town. That's all he knew. And then she goes on about how she's been acting how she thinks Joey Potter is supposed to act. I don't know where that came from exactly. I guess a girl that's all about schooling and following the rules and all that, probably.
Hmm. Well, I mean, she's very obsessed with her grades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only thing she does is study.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't have any fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised she went to this dinner because,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would take away from her studying.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah, there was really nothing to the episode.
Well, she did bring up Dawson, how she was relieved to get a break from him and know that someone else was taking care of him.
Yeah, but then she was jealous. So
Mm-hmm. And then, well, we have the last scene with Jen and Dawson in the attic. And Dawson jokes about this is where Jen takes her conquest to die. And I think Jen tripped over something first, and then she was holding his hand, so she kind of like almost made him fall too. I don't know if that was purposely for the scene or another um slip up of, you know, Michelle tripping. I don't know. It just seems like her being clumsy like this doesn't make sense. Now that she's in
why?
college, she can't. Well, she wasn't like this in
You
the
can be
first.
clumsy. You can be clumsy as an adult.
I know. It just doesn't seem like her kind of thing. I don't know. Seems like maybe a Joey thing.
Has
And then,
Joey ever tripped?
no, but character wise, it just seems like that she would be the one to start tripping.
No, I feel like it'd be an Andy thing.
Yeah, that too. And then, Dawson doesn't want to talk what happened tonight. I guess with Joey and Gen X, if they can just be boring and
Hmm.
not talk about deep stuff. And Dawson says boredom is not the feeling she inspires, and Jen thinks the attic has possibilities for decoration and everything. And then, the kind of they can talk about tomorrow, and then they fall asleep with,
Yeah, but they did at some point talk about having sex in Graham's house because Jen was like
Mm, yeah,
saying she didn't think it was appropriate. I was like, yeah, definitely not.
yeah, with Graham's in the house, and then, they do fall asleep on the little bed together with on opposite ends with their heads on the different ends of the bed.
And I was surprised because Graham's doesn't even know they're together.
Right. I guess she
And
went to sleep
they're in the
yeah.
attic together.
Mm-hmm. She probably thinks Dawson's just on the couch in the living room like before. So,
What's she gonna do when she wakes up and he ain't on the couch?
I don't know. Guess we'll find out if we see that at all.
Oh, they always cut that. We
Yeah.
never see reactions on this show.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that was it.
So my high was Pacey and Joey's walk at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I can finally see them together, even if they're not together.
Yeah.
And then the rest was everybody else. I didn't care for this episode. Pretty
Yeah.
boring. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
one thing that happened, finding out about Dawson, or yeah, Dawson and Jen, and I really could care less. What
Yeah. And
about
then
you?
yeah, my high was just everybody leaving dinner, finally that being over with. And the low was just um I don't know. There's a lot of pointless parts in this episode. I guess Jen and Jack really, since they're the ones that haven't been probably speaking. Like they out of everybody, all the friends have probably been speaking the last time with Jack at the frat house and now Jen with Dawson. I just didn't like again, like they didn't really need to talk to each other. And then after the talk that didn't go well, they aren't gonna have breakfast together now, so that doesn't make sense.
Well, and then did you see? Because he was talking about how Dawson doesn't like how she takes her coffee, and then Dawson pours her coffee, and then Jack has to step in and pour her milk. And I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, you guys are like the old married couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then best and worst. Or no, Brady rating.
Um, a 6.
Yeah, I was thinking more like a 5.
Yeah. I was like,
And
I don't like
yeah.
it. Like there was nothing that happened.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
then
so I picked the best was Pacey
mm-hmm.
because he was the only one I could stand in the episode. Um, and then the worst, I picked Charlie. Like, why was he even there?
Right.
Like, it was just pointless.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, my best is Pacey just because he was the one that was cooking everybody the meals and the meals that nobody was really even eating or paying attention to because they were all wrapped up in their current drama. So he
And
was
he
the only
put
one
his
that,
and he put his time and effort into it too. I felt bad for him.
yeah, especially with that chicken that he couldn't even cook all the way. So, and that was like the main course of it all. And then the worst is just Jack just trying to pretend that he cares now about what's going on in Jen's life all of a sudden. I didn't like that.
I think he does though.
Yeah, but he hasn't done a good way of showing it lately.
Well, they don't show anything on this show. They always just tell us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, episode 11, is something wild. So I guess something crazy is gonna happen.
Oh, on this show, there's actually something wild.
I guess. I don't know. The rave was kind
This
of crazy, but
this show doesn't really. It doesn't scream wild.
mm-hmm.
All right.
Um,
Thanks for listening. Oh, what?
when did this episode air again?
This December 19th.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say then now we're gonna go into 2002.
Ooh.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.